Welcome to the Sports on I-40 podcast, where the desert winds cut like a knife and Week 7 is about to separate the contenders from the pretenders. January 6th, conference play kicks into gear and the margin for error just shrank to nothing. Snowflake, still perfect, opens against a Chinle team desperate to wash a taste of that opening embarrassment out of their mouth. Tuba City, the North's earlier runaway, hosts a Monument Valley squad that's already taken a couple of body blows. Winslow and Holbrook renew a rivalry that feels like it's been simmering since the Nixon administration. And somewhere in the middle of all this, Greg Perkins is trying to keep his Roadrunners alive one win at a time. Because he told us himself, no playoffs, no headset. We've got the lines that'll make you sweat. Snowflake -11, Tuba City -12, Chinle -8 at home against Ganado. 5 conference games that feel like playoff basketball in January. This is the Sports on I-40 podcast, where the stakes are real, the road is unforgiving, and right now every possession feels like it could be somebody's last. Buckle up, Arizona. Let's roll. Welcome, everybody. So, Mac, we've had a few weeks off. It seems like it's been a while since we've done a podcast. We tried to do the Week 7 and we did record that one, but I just didn't have time to put that one out, edit the video out, and put it out to everybody. So we did skip that one. But now we are up here in Week 7. And how does the landscape of 3A North and 3A East basketball feel to you right now?
It's pretty good, looking pretty good. A lot of North teams played down in Phoenix this past weekend in the Epic tournament, and got to see some of it online, see some results on some of the apps and all that. So yeah, look, the North is looking good. A lot of different pools that they were in, and Holbrook came out on top in one of them. Ganado had a tough match against Winter Rock, and Winter Rock ended up pulling away, and they won by 2 at the end. It was a good game, really good game last night. And then I seen that Tuba City beat San Carlos too, I believe. I don't know what the score was now, but they won that one. And I think there was a Rock Point in one of them too. They might have took Chant too, I think. Hopi was down there too, and some smaller schools, St. Michael's and some of these other schools. But I'm not sure exactly how they all did though. But they were looking good though. A lot of North teams for girls.
Well, that sounds exciting. Some basketball during the break. It seems to probably give these young men and young women some time to have something to do, really, when nothing's really going on. I mean, in my experience, when I used to play high school basketball, I really hated practice during the breaks like this. But I guess if you have some games going on, it makes it a little bit better.
Yeah, they had consistency is key, man. They're in like these breaks these last 2 weeks, and if people can get in the gym, man, they can improve their game a lot, man. So it's a different time, man. It'll be interesting what happens this week with all the games going on, and a lot of good games that's going on this week.
Yeah, the conferences, I think we're starting to hit the halfway mark, and we're starting to move into more conference play. So it appears as though every game is starting to be more meaningful. A lot of rivalries are coming up. For example, Holbrook is playing Winslow on Tuesday, and that's always a classic. It seems like no matter what the records are, both teams, boys and girls from both sides, Winslow and Holbrook, they come to play regardless of what the record is and what the stakes are, because that Interstate 40 rivalry that's been going on for a while now, it certainly means a lot, not only for the students but for the community members as well. And this is always just exciting to see.
Yeah, I tell the boys all the time, this is the game that counts out of the whole year. This is the most important game. So hopefully they take it the same way, man.
Yeah, I look back, last year it was a pretty intense game. I think, didn't they split the series? I know the boys split the series. Did the girls split the series last year, or was it? I can't remember off the top of my head. Maybe Winslow won both of them.
I can't remember. I think they might have split it too. I think Holbrook won both of them, I think.
For the girls?
I think so. I can't remember.
Regardless, though, really intense. The first game is going to be in Winslow, an away game for Holbrook. It wins the gymnasium over there in Winslow. Great venue, a lot of space. The whole town shows up for it. It's good to see the fans there and the entire gymnasium filled. And it's just a great atmosphere for a lot of these young men and young women, especially the seniors. They're going to be, this is probably gonna be their last time playing a high school game like this in that gymnasium. So I think both players or all the players are going to try to enjoy it as much as they can and try to come out with the win.
Yeah.
With that being said, we have other games coming up in the north as well. I know Tuba City has been doing quite well. They did have that loss to Winter Rock earlier a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
It was a close one.
Right before the break.
Based on what's been going on so far, how do you see the North playing out so far? One of the big surprises, I'll note this, one of the big surprises, and we're going to talk about this when we bring up our model, is Winter Rock. I think we kind of, at the beginning of the season, we talked about Winter Rock being a dark horse and having the potential to do some things in the North. And I think the freshmen that have come up the freshmen that have joined the Winter Rock team has certainly been the biggest contributing factor, because I think, at least in my mind, I really didn't see Winter Rock as being the force that they are today. Given that a lot of people really didn't have a whole lot of information on the new players coming in, but the freshmen have really surprised me, and they've really moved Winter Rock in the right direction.
Yep. Yeah, I kind of predicted that they would get better and better. And I just see them having that same consistency throughout the whole season. I think they got Tiana playing really good ball. She's up there, one of the stars like Leila Curtis, and I only seen her getting better as the season goes on. And another girl, Naomi James, she's pretty good too, freshman, and really both of them penetrate the ball and really good at finishing, and some of the other girls stepping up too in defense, and it's good to see, man. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm. One of the biggest, I don't want to say disappointments, but I guess surprises for me as far as continuing to get better is Monument Valley. And it seems to me that they're still playing like they played last year, which is, I guess from the outside, it just looks like run and gun. Not a whole lot of structure there. I think their success lies with overwhelming teams when it comes to scoring and running, and hopefully, potentially their defense creating turnovers. But it just seems like this year's team is sort of moving in the same direction as they did last year. And the problem that Monument Valley is going to have is they don't have a player like Heron Man to pull them through these tough games so far. Doesn't mean that they won't win, or doesn't mean they don't have a chance. It just seems if they continue to move in this direction, I think ultimately they will make the playoffs. As far as their success, though, in the tournament is really going to depend on a couple factors that I see. One of them being who are they playing, and the second being can they sustain a high scoring offense despite the lack of a solid defense and just some kind of structure.
Yeah, they're in the toughest conference right now in the North, so all the last few games will be all conference games, and they're not to really step up, trying to come in as a high seed instead of state.
Yeah, Chinle as well. we got to see them play, as well as I did see some videos that people had uploaded about Chinle as well, and they're, I think from what we've seen so far, I think Chinle, I think they're doing a lot better than a lot of people anticipated them to be, given that they lost two players last year. Mm-hmm. Koa Yazi?
Yeah.
And DeJoan White. Even though those two players who contributed a great majority of their points last year and leadership, even though they're no longer playing, I think they've done a great job as far as having new players come in and fill those roles. Yep. They played Holbrook right before the break as well, and Holbrook just, I guess you could say they were just overwhelmed, and Chinle just seemed to have a better grip on what their strategy was and how they were going to execute that against Holbrook, and that's really tough. The high school level, you have a lot of players that are just playing the game. Mm-hmm. What I mean by just playing the game is It's very X's and O's. Coach told me to go here, so I'm going to go here. Coach
Yeah.
said pass it this many times or whatever, you know. And there's really not a whole lot of high level thinking. But when you play teams from the north, I've noticed there is a lot of high level thinking as far as passing to the open man, cutting, pick and rolls, screens, and there are instances where they're finding players underneath the basket that are moving off a screen and they're getting these easy buckets. They're not hesitating to take these 3-point shots, and I think in the grand scheme of things, I think that's what makes the 3A North so tough is they have this natural instinct on how to move the ball around and how to create shots in open space.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably the biggest reason why the North is so dominant. But we've talked in the past too about how schools down south are sort of starting to figure this out, and they're starting to become more they're starting to become tougher opponents. But as far as this year is concerned, or as far as concerning this year, I haven't really seen or heard anybody from the South that appears to be a significant threat as compared to years past. Like maybe 5 years ago, I think Valley Christian had a really good team. They ended up winning the state championship for the girls. Have you seen any notable teams from the South that comes to mind? That comes to your mind, Mac?
Not too much, but I did hear that. Let's see. I seen somewhere. I think Yuma Catholic might be kind of a contender, like one of the top teams from the South. But I'm not too sure. But this weekend in the tournament, and a lot of the games that happened this weekend, and that they had a lot of the smaller teams from up here played a lot of the bigger teams, and they did pretty fair, like against a lot of teams. As far as boys, I seen that Scottsdale Christian was really good in the boys side, but the girls, all the North teams are pretty dominant. So I guess it's kind of like a gauge of what might come later on. But yeah.
Yeah, I guess we can pivot to the boys. Or actually, hold on. Let's talk about the East, secondly, for the girls. For the East, Snowflake's still the top dog right now. From what I can see, they're playing such great basketball right now. Their points per game is so much higher than their points per game allowed, which tells me that they're scoring efficiently. I wouldn't categorize them as a high score in offense, meaning they're having a lot of fast breaks. They're shooting a lot of threes. That's. I don't think that's certainly happening. That's not happening with Snowflake.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, I think they have a high efficiency in terms of getting the ball where it needs to go and scoring points in any way that they can. I know they're a lot taller than most teams. They're a lot more physical. I would say they don't have the skill set as the North teams do. What I mean by that is a lot of their players sort of struggle at dribbling. They sort of struggle in terms of shooting form. They sort of struggle when it comes to creating passes, especially elegant ones that the North teams just naturally do. But their efficiency when it comes to running their offense and getting the ball where it needs to be is quite phenomenal for a team like this. And also their defense, given that they have, if you compare the North and the East, and let me bring that up right now. That'd be a good time to show this here. So when you look at the North and the East, we first look at 3A North and 3A East efficiency, points scored versus points allowed. If you look there at Snowflake has the highest here. So points per game scored is really high at 60. Points per game allowed, they have it at around 25. So they're averaging this metric. This is a good thing you want to see here. You want, your points per game to be a lot higher than your points per allowed. That means your defense is certainly doing very well at preventing other schools to score.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the opposite side, and this is, I think everyone kind of intuitively knows this, but if you look at Holbrook here, they're allowing more points per game than they are scoring, which is, at this point in the season, is not a very good statistic to have.
Mm-hmm.
So they have two options: either play better defense or start scoring, start becoming more efficient at scoring. And based on what I've seen so far, I kind of feel like I don't know if it's too late to say that they can play better defense. They're playing in the East, which is, I would say, the second hardest conference in the 3A right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, certainly they have Snowflake and they have Sholo, and they also have Altus and Blue Ridge, but in Winslow. So if I'm another team and I'm looking at the Holbrook girls, for example, or at the Holbrook girls basketball team, I'm thinking they have really bad defense. Let's see if they can stop us. And they have really they're very bad at scoring points as well. So where they go from here is a question that Greg Perkins is going to have to figure out. And the girls themselves too. I mean, think about this too. You know, Coach Perkins can only do so much. I mean, he physically can't play the game, right? Ultimately, it's up to the girls on whether or not they're going to win these games or not.
Yeah,
because they're the ones that are playing, and all coach can do really is just help try to guide the team to a victory. You know, by helping to create the game plan, helping the players understand where the ball needs to go, or maybe seeing things that the players aren't seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And at the high school level, I think the coach has to do a lot more thinking for their players as opposed to the collegiate level or at the pro level. So looking at this chart here, Mac, what are some other things that you see?
I think the teams from the north have play a lot of transition basketball, where a lot of fast break, a lot of running and gunning, just scoring points. I see them really as an offensive team. Defensively, I see them doing a lot of pressing, and that's how they get their points. I don't know how you transition your points. I guess points allowed would be like a good defense and then scoring on those things too. So a lot of North teams press too. So I would see, I see that really happening and helping them out, I guess, a lot.
Here's an interesting thing here, point. Look at Sholo. They're one of the better teams in the East, but yet they are still allowing a lot of points.
Yeah.
Right. So to me, that shows that Sholo was very vulnerable, and I think we've seen that they lost. They did lose to, who was it? Chinle or Page earlier in the year.
Yeah.
They have the height and the talent. They just have really bad efficiency, I think, with scoring, especially in the third and fourth quarter. And their defense, I think, should be better, but so far the stats are showing that Sholo isn't getting it done on the defensive end.
Yeah.
So what this chart's just saying, what this chart is showing is you have two things. Either you can increase you can either keep your defense of play where it is, but you're gonna have to increase the amount of points you're scoring, or you're gonna have to increase your defense and try to make up for it or increase your defense and leave your scoring where it is. Or you can try to do both at the same time. And I think it's tough to try to do both at the same time. So maybe as a coach, you look at that and say, okay, what am I better? Am I better at offense or am I better at defense?
Yeah.
In Holbrook's case, I would say they're probably better at. I can't see them playing better defense right now. All I can see them doing is maintaining their current state of defense and trying to increase their offensive efficiency by scoring maybe a lot more threes, and trying to work the ball and to get more consistency
Yeah.
for scoring 2 points.
A team in here that's been pretty good too is Ganado. They had a good game last night against Winter Rock, which is pretty good. It was I was surprised that Ganado actually stayed and hung in there and gave Winter Rock a good game. And I think they were missing one of the girls for like the last few games before the break. They had like 3 straight losses, I think, or something like that. But I think it was really, really, really due to like some players missing. So hopefully they get it going after this new year, man.
Yeah, it's interesting you brought up just a little bit earlier, transition basketball. If we look at these North teams, let's focus on Chinle, Winter Rock, Page, Monument Valley. I guess all of them except for Tuba City. Um, from what I've seen, they do play a lot of transition basketball. It's turn the ball over, let's get to the other side as fast as we can, and maybe try to get some kind of score off the fast break.
Yeah.
A lot of half court pressing, full court pressing. So the chart to me sort of is indicative of that, showing that, it seems like a lot of their points. I guess what I'm saying is the data kind of jives with that idea of transition basketball, really playing off of transition basketball. Some of them are benefiting and some of them are not. Look at Page, for example. We've seen them too. They're also as well, allowing a lot of points to be scored on them. But at the same time, they're sort of almost evening that out by also having a good offensive efficiency as well.
Mm-hmm.
And if we compare, let's say, Page to Tuba City, it doesn't mean Tuba City is invincible, but to me, it clearly shows that Tuba City overall in every single metric right now is the best team in the North. I know that they lost to Winter and any team can have a bad day, a bad game as well. And ultimately, all that really matters though at the end of the day is who's going to win the North, who's going to win the North Conference tournament, and then who's going to win the state championship. Those are the three things. The most important probably being who's going to win the state championship. For the girl, if we're in the context of just the girls, because I think the state championship is going to wind up in the hands of the East or the North. I think that's really what it's going to come down to.
Yep.
You have any last things to say about the girls right now?
I'll just say look pretty good too. They beat Ganado. Ganado was up by like 15. I'll just say came back and they won it at the end. Ganado was missing some players, but I'll just say they come back. So I think I see them getting better too, man.
Okay. Yeah, and if we just look at this chart really quickly, wins versus losses, right? Snowflake is just way higher on the list as far as their wins and their losses are concerned. Tuba City and Windrock right now are evenly matched as far as wins and losses. If you look on the other side of the chart there, Holbrook and Winslow. And I think Winslow has more losses simply because they might have played a few more games compared to Holbrook, but it's interesting to see that Holbrook and Winslow they're sort of playing at the same. I think they're pretty evenly matched right now.
Is this after the results from this weekend? Is that
this doesn't include tournament games.
Oh, then okay.
This is just straight scheduled games.
Okay.
So based on record, it just looks like Holbrook and Winslow are pretty evenly matched. Blue Ridge and Sholo kind of about the same as well. But I just really see, if I were to make an educated guess based on who's going to win Winslow and Holbrook, I'm going to give Winslow the edge because their defense is, I would say their defense is a lot better than Holbrook's. If you compare it to Winslow's defense is better than Holbrook's.
Mm-hmm.
And Winslow's scoring efficiency is better than Holbrook's as well. So, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's transition to the boys here. To the boys side of the spectrum here, 3A North and 3A East. I guess we'll start with the East first. Right now, who do you think the best team is right now in the East?
In the East, I think based on performance and schedule and all that, I think right now probably Snowflake. And they played in a tournament this weekend too, and they beat Winslow in the third place game. So they beat Winslow, so they have one win on them. They also beat Holbrook just right before the break too, and I say Snowflake right now, currently number one. Number two is to be close between Winslow and Holbrook right now. So it's up. We'll find out this week, I guess, on Tuesday for that one.
Mm-hmm. I've yet to see Sholo boys, Alta boys, or Blue Ridge boys.
Alta boys, they look pretty good too. They played in that tournament in
Round Valley.
Round Valley too, but they weren't like a top top contender team or something. They lost. I think I don't remember who they lost to, but maybe it was to Payson. I think they're on top of the bracket. Yeah. So
Okay, I agree. I think Snowflake is. It's so weird to say it, and we spoke about this Noah Brown, um, as well on our last interview that I had mentioned that Snowflake is probably they should be a really good team, but given that they're a football school and it looks as though most of those players on the team right now only play basketball during basketball season, uh, it doesn't seem like Snowflake should be the best team in the East, but somehow I attribute a lot to their height. I mean, they have one player that's like 5 foot, but everyone else is is
yeah,
really tall and they're very athletic.
yeah,
But as far as in skill wise, like dribbling the ball, they're not that great at it. So I think right now a lot of it's probably just given the fact that they just have more athletic players right now, and we'll see. I mean, there's a second half of the season, and we'll see how that plays out. Holbrook boys right now is just they're having issues finishing out games, and I guess they're just on the defensive side. Maybe they're just not tall enough. Like for Snowflake, I noticed that too. Snowflake, it was really easy for them to get rebounds. I know Travis Baez down there working really hard to get rebounds as well. But even on the offensive side, it seemed like given that the boys are so short, it just seemed like it was a lot harder for them to make shots, mid-range jumpers or even trying to take it to the hoop. Who was it? Tyler Tabaha. He wasn't very tall, but he knew how to use space and his body to create shots underneath. So to me, it shows that it's possible to be a high level scorer, despite the fact that you're not 6'2" or 6'3" at the 3A level. So if they're unable to do that, then their only choice is just to make 3-pointers, or maybe try to make shots off the rebound.
yeah.
And that's very limiting for them.
That was the type of game against Snowflake, man. They couldn't hit nothing. I think the whole night they might just only had like 4 threes or something like that. When in other cases, like other games, they'll go like 12 threes or something like that. But man, they struggled against that and they struggled in that game.
Yeah.
So yeah.
When Holbrook played Winslow, not Holbrook, excuse me. When Winslow played Monty at Valley, I was very impressed with the Holbrook the Winslow boys team. So much so that I thought they were, and I still think they're certainly a contender to win the East. They have a phenomenal freshman. You remember his name?
Kobe Chi.
Yeah. Just a very good player for them. I think they're going. I mean, all teams go through growing pains, especially when you have a young team as well. But I think they'll figure it out as the season progresses.
Yeah.
And I could really see Winslow making a move to win the East. I just think Snowflake has the ability to stumble and fall short of that. And we're just going to have to see who's left standing at the end. Okay, what about the 3A North?
I'd say I'm leaning to Chinle for that. Chinle, they won some pretty tough games. They beat Snowflake early on. They have played some teams that are kind of out of the district, I guess. Like who they play? They hosted a tournament too. They won that tournament that they hosted. I think they played Neville Prep maybe in the championship game, or Hopi or something like that. I can't remember who it was exactly, but yeah, I see them winning it pretty. They did have a loss to Winter Rock, but I think they should have won that game. So I see Chinle taking the conference in that one.
What about Page? I haven't really seen Page boys.
I think Page boys, they're pretty good. They have one player, JB. He's a phenomenal player. His senior year, he's pretty much a one-man show for Page, man. He keeps him in there, man. He's going places, man.
I see. Yeah, the North Conference. I guess my opinion right now of it is for the boys is it's not really strong this year. Um, they can certainly they could certainly beat anybody in the East, right? But it's going to be tough going into the tournament, especially the Copper tournament. And um, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, someone from the North is going to make the Copper tournament. Um, I don't see them going far in the Copper tournament, and it could be one of those situations where they don't want to be in it anyways, so they'll just
Mm-hmm.
be okay if they lose,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
But given that we have the Copper tournament and the best teams like maybe Valley Christian and Yuma Catholic, Scottsdale Christian was the other one you said. Given that they will probably advance into the Copper tournament, uh, I could see the 3A tournament. I think the North and the East certainly has a shot at winning the 3A tournament as opposed to the Copper.
Yeah.
And we'll just have to see. I mean, it's all about playing well at the right time,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
That was certainly the case when Monument Valley made the state tournament a few years ago.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. All right, you have anything else about the North?
No, that's it. Tuba looks getting better. Window Rocks getting better too. They played in the tournament. I think they were playing for third place, but I don't know what the results were for that. What was another good game too that happened? I'm trying to think. Ganado played in that tournament down there too, but I'm not exactly sure how they did as far as the boys. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any insights into the 1A or 2A by any chance?
Not
It's something
really.
that I haven't really followed that much this year.
As far as boys or girls,
both.
I've been seeing Joe City a lot on a lot of some of the rankings for I see Joe City girls look pretty good. I seen them being contenders like in the copper bracket and even in their own 2A bracket. So I see them going pretty far. As far as boys, I believe they play down there too, but I'm not sure exactly how they did in the tournament. What's another? Hopi was down there too, but I'm not sure how they did. I think Hopi boys are pretty good. I think they were playing for championship in one of the games. Rock Point girls were playing in the championship game too, but I'm not sure how they did. Some of these apps don't get updated on their results and all that, so I think they need to do a little better job doing all that. Moglion was in one of them also. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I know that the Joe City girls are doing really well this year.
Yeah.
And I've yet to go see a game, but I want to at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I know the boys are also not doing too bad as well this year.
Yeah.
It's I'd like to cover like the 1A a lot more than the 2A. It's just there's just a lot going on all at once too, and I mean everyone I could tell too. I'm having trouble just trying to do the rankings for the girls. I keep saying we're gonna do the boys, and I haven't completed that yet.
Yeah.
So, but I think this year I do want to cover the I think it's the 1A Central Conference tournament. I know last year it was in Williams. I'm not sure where it's going to be this year. Hopefully it's in Joe City, but we'll see. I do want to cover that. It's usually at the same time as the 3A North tournament.
That's like Seligman and Williams.
Joe City, Seligman, Williams, Heber. I think Heber's in the Grand Canyon.
Mogollon? Is it Mogollon?
Yeah, Mogollon. It's a bigger conference for them. I think it's like 3A or 1A Metro or 1A North, 1A Central, I think, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mayor's in it as well. St. Michael's, I think, is also in it.
Okay.
Or maybe St. Michael's is in another. Well, anyways, we'll have to see. But anyways, yeah, I do want to get more information on the 1A as well, and maybe we'll have a lot more intelligent things to say or insightful things to say about the 1A.
I heard good things about Sanders girls too. Valley girls.
Mm-hmm.
They sound like they're pretty good too.
For the 2A.
Yeah, 2A.
Wow, the Valley hasn't. They were good. What, like 10 years ago when they made the state championship?
Yeah,
Was that 10 years ago?
probably
Was
about
like
around
was it
then.
their only year they were in the 3A?
Think so. Yeah, they
Oh,
played. Yeah, in the North teams.
wow. Well, that's interesting.
I think Alta State was in the same conference that one at that time too. I think.
Yeah, it's where the Alta keeps moving. They haven't done it recently, but they've been moving up and down between 2A and
And
3A.
next year, Holbrook's will be in the North Conference too. Right?
Yeah, I think, was it you that mentioned that to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Holbrook being in the North Conference, and then Snowflake being in like the 3A Metro or something like that. Basically, all the East teams except for Altusay are going to be in the Altusay, Holbrook, and Winslow. They're going to be in the Metro 3A Metro, and
That's gonna be different.
yeah, the
man.
North is just going to be all the North teams plus Winslow, Holbrook, and Altusay,
Yep.
which is, I don't know why they did that. For example, Altusay is closer to where Snowflake's going than, you know, I don't know why they decided to just throw. Maybe they were like, oh well, Altusay is Native American. Let's just throw them in the north too,
Yeah.
right?
Be traveling all the way up the page. It's a long way.
Yeah, it's we had talked earlier about when you had first told me about that. It's going to be hard to cover the games because what's nice about the East is it's easy to drive from Holbrook to Shoal or Holbrook to Blue Ridge or to Snowflake, right? But now having to go on a Tuesday to like Tuba City or Monument Valley or Chinle, and the roads aren't even that. I mean, it just driving at night on these roads up there are I don't want to say they're a nightmare, but it's certainly. I think that's one thing that maybe the AIA should have taken into consideration. It's for fan safety as well.
Driving through Greasewood at night is the worst, man.
Oh yeah,
all the potholes and the cows and all that. You got to be careful going through there, man.
Yeah, and not to mention all the supernatural stuff.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I think that was one thing that maybe they should have taken into consideration as well. I mean, credit to the 3A North fans who have been doing it, since I guess they created the conferences. Having to travel between the different towns there. But I mean, I would say maybe it's not too bad for Monument Valley to travel to Chinle. Maybe the worst one would be maybe Page having to come all the way to Winter Rock or something, but I guess Page would just take 264 all the way to Winter Rock. So it's just something I think they thought they should have considered. Anyways, let's go really quickly into the week 7 spreads for the girls, and there are some interesting metrics there are some interesting things here. First, January 6th, which I believe is Tuesday. We have a couple games. We have several games on the board. First, let's start with the 5:30 game. Sholo versus Blue Ridge. We have Sholo as a 4-point favorite with an over and under of 91 points. The projected score in that game is 47-43 Sholo. So we're expecting a game to be less than 50 points on both ends there. I do think Sholo is the favorite for this. Mac, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I see Sholo taking it.
Mm-hmm. It'd be good to see how this works out. Like I said, I haven't really seen Blue Ridge boys or girls this year, but we'll have to see if the model holds true to this. The second one here, we'll start at the top here. Chinle versus Page. Chinle, a 5-point favorite over Page. Page is the away team, so Chinle has the home court advantage. The expected over and under is 95 points. I'm going to take the over on this, over 95 points. And I do see Chinle beating Page. And what do you think, Mac?
Yeah, I take that too. I see Chinle beating Page too by, I'd say, more than 5.
Did that earlier in the year? They had that. People were speaking it in terms of as a fact, but the Page had a transfer from Tuba City.
Yeah,
Did that
I'm not
ever
sure.
happen?
Yeah, I believe it happened, but I don't know when she starts. So
I think it would be now. I think
yeah.
so. I think sometime this week or next week. I think would be her first game if she did
Okay.
transfer. So
It'd be interesting.
we'll have to see how that impacts Paige's play.
Yeah.
Um, are you familiar with the player that transferred?
Chinle Ginny is a Chinle Ginny girl, I believe. I don't remember her name though.
Was she pretty good?
She was pretty good. People consider her one of the best tuba players last year, is what they said. But I don't know her.
Okay. I just remember, didn't Holbrook beat Tuba City like in the first round of the playoffs last year?
Yeah, crazy game.
Yeah. Anyhow, okay. Next one, Monument Valley at Tuba City. Tuba City is a 12-point favorite over Monument Valley, and the expected over and under is 94 points. I'm fairly confident that Tuba City is going to win by at least 12 points. And plus, it's an away game for Monument Valley. The over and under is 94. I see this being over 94 points. What do you think, Mac?
Yep, I agree too, man.
Okay. Next one, Holbrook at Winslow. Holbrook's a 3-point favorite with an over and under of 93 points. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. I'm going to take the under 93.
I'm going to take the under also, man.
I do think Winslow will ultimately beat Holbrook. Will it be by 3 points? I think it'll be a close game, just because it's a rivalry game. It's just given that they're so closely matched, I think whoever makes the least amount of mistakes is going to win this game.
Yeah,
and I just think Holbrook is going to have more mistakes over Winslow. They're going to have a lot of unnecessary turnovers, a lot of fast break plays where they're just going to try to throw the ball at someone. It's going to go way over their head, and Coach Perkins is going to be looking at him like, why did you throw that pass? It's going to be one of those games.
Yeah.
But I do think ultimately, though, it will be close, but I do think Winslow has the edge in this, and I'll take Winslow over Holbrook by 3 and take the under on that.
Yep. Same.
Next one here, Altusay, Snowflake at Altusay. Snowflake is a 9-point favorite with an over and under of 97.5 points. I'm going to take the under, and I think it's going to be slightly under, maybe 96 points, something like that. I think Snowflake's going to win by more than 9, so that would be something that I would take. What do you think, man?
Yep, I agree too, man.
Okay, the next one here, January 8th, which would be what, Thursday?
Yeah.
We have Monument Valley at Holbrook. For that game, Monument Valley at Holbrook. Holbrook is a 2-point favorite, according to our model, over Monument Valley with an over and under of 90.5 points. Under normal circumstances, and I think the reason why the model projects Holbrook being a 2-point favorite is because of the home court advantage. But at this point, I don't really think Holbrook girls have a home court advantage anymore. I think for schools like Holbrook and Winslow, the home court advantage works when your team is doing well, and it doesn't when you're not. And maybe that's true for all teams, but I feel like it's more it presents itself more for schools like Holbrook and Winslow. The same for Sholo and all the East schools. For the North, though, given that most of these teams are pretty good, I think there really is a home court advantage for a lot of these schools in the North.
Their fans show up too, so it almost don't feel like a home court advantage anymore too sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think Monument Valley. I'm going to take Monument Valley on this one. I think Monument Valley, they're going to just do a lot of transition basketball. I really see Monument Valley doing half-court presses, getting a lot of steals off of that. And I think Monument Valley is going to run away with this. I'm going to say Monument Valley by 10.
Monument Valley by 10. I'd say Holbrook by 2. Yeah, I agree with this. I agree with the whatever here, but I think it's under 90 though. I bet it's to be a low scoring game, maybe in the 20s or 30s, like single digits and like 20 points at halftime or something like that.
Uh-huh. So under 90.5. So you're thinking the final score being somewhere around like 40 to 37.
Something like that, yeah.
Uh-huh. I think it'll be just barely over 90. Just barely over. Maybe 1 point over. Next one here, Ganado versus Chinle, or Chinle at Ganado. Chinle is an 8-point favorite with an over and under of 96. I think if Chinle comes in and does what they need to do, I think Chinle will win by 8 or more points. And I see the over and under being probably under 96.
I'm about to disagree with this one. I think Ganado, seeing the way they played over the weekend, I'd see them beating Chinle by 4. I'm favored by 4. Over 97, over 96, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Chinle will win. It's just whether will it be by -8 or -1. Will it be by 8 points or 1 point? will be is the ultimate question there.
I think Ganado's on their comeback right now. We'll find out.
You'll think they'll make a run?
I think
turn some heads.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Next one here, Hopi at Tuba City. I think Tuba City is probably going to win this by more than 18, maybe 25.
Yeah, I see that too.
Probably with an over. Probably
95.
Probably over 95. Probably their projected score is Tuba City 57, Hopi 39. In order for it to be over 95, I guess I think it's gonna be something like Tuba City 60, maybe 65, Hopi 39, somewhere around there. Next one here, January 9th, which I believe is Saturday?
Friday?
Oh, next day, Friday, excuse me. Snowflake at Holbrook, the rematch. Snowflake, 11-point favorite with an over-under of 99. Yeah, I would say Snowflake by 11, and I'm going to say under 99.
Man, I think if Holbrook can play good on Thursday night against Mountain Valley, they'll show up better against Snowflake. For some reason, when they do have games like that back to back, I feel like they do better. I'd say it's to be a single-digit game, at least by 8 points or 6 points. I say 6 points. Snowflake
by 6.
Under 99.
Yeah, Holbrook will have to prove me wrong. I think Snowflake will be minus. Snowflake's gonna win by at least 11 points. Next one here, the same day, Winslow at Sholo. Sholo is a 3-point favorite. Yeah, I think Sholo will win this game. It's just gonna depend by how much. I would take Sholo by 3. Probably under 92.5 points. What do you think, Mac?
I think that's to be a good matchup for Winslow. I say Sholo by 1 point. I think it's to be a closer game than people think.
Okay, the last one on Friday, Blue Ridge at Altusay. Altusay is a 6-point favorite over Blue Ridge. I'm just gonna have to go with the model.
Yeah,
I haven't really seen Blue Ridge.
Too.
I haven't seen Blue Ridge play. I think Blue Ridge has played on. I think they've been featured on, like Sports Zone.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe they've had at least one game on there, but I didn't see it. So I'm gonna have to go with the model there and say I think Altusay is a 6-point favorite, and I think it'll be. I'm gonna take the under on that 90 points.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. Looks like we have. So maybe the 9th must be okay. Yeah. So the 10th is Saturday. Page at Winderock. Page is a 4-point favorite over Winderock with an over under 93. I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to see how Page's new player impacts their play. I'm gonna go with what the model says though. Page by 4, and I'm gonna say it's gonna be over 93 points. What do you think?
I see Window Rock using their home advantage. I say Window Rock by 5.
And that's
Yeah.
certainly within the realm of possibility. Next one here, Ganado at Tuba City. Tuba City is a 10-point favorite. I'm going to take that. I think Tuba City is a 10-point favorite over Ganado. They're playing 3 games this week. They got 2. They have what? They have to play Chinle. Ganado versus Chinle.
You talking about Tuba or
talking about Ganado?
Oh,
they only have 1 game this week. Ganado
2
versus
games. Chinle and then Window Rock, or Chinle and Tuba.
Okay, so Tuba City is going to have 3 games.
3 games, yeah.
Okay.
I say Ganado. Let's see, I say Tuba by 2 points. I think it's gonna be a close game. I wouldn't be surprised if Ganado wins that too.
I still gonna take Tuba by 10, and even though Ganado has a clear rest advantage against Tuba City because they're playing, that's gonna be their 3rd game of the week against Ganado. So Tuba City's got a tough week this week as far as games being played.
Yeah, I think their only tough games would be the first and the last game. I think they'll get some rest against Hopi.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point. That's a good point there. Yeah, but I think they're gonna be a well-oiled machine by then. I think they're gonna cruise right in there and take Ganado out.
That's a be the game to watch right there, man. That one in the Window Rock and Page game. And then hopefully someone's broadcasting that game.
And the last one for that day, Chinle at Monument Valley. You know, maybe I'll consider driving up there to watch Chinle versus Monument Valley. It's a long ways, but or maybe even the Ganado Tuba City one.
That's to be some good games this weekend.
Yeah, or maybe the Window Rock. Window Rock's closer to Holbrook than Tuba City.
Yeah, that's a big game.
Maybe I'll consider going to the Window Rock Page game. We'll see. Anyways, Chinle at Monument Valley. I think Chinle is going to win this by 7. Under 94. What do you think, Mac?
I agree with that. Yep.
Okay.
Chinle winning.
And the last 2 here, Monday nights. Sholo at Chinle. I think Chinle is going to take this, and I think the model's correct. It's going to be somewhere around 4 points.
I say Chinle by 10 or more against Sholo.
I feel like it's going to be a lot closer than that.
Think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, I think that Chinle is going to have a run game in this game, I think, with the home court advantage too. And yeah, I think so.
What I believe for sure will happen, I think it'll be close in the first half. I think Sholo and Chinle they'll be pretty close to each other, maybe 2 points, 3 points, maybe even 5. But I do see Chinle taking over in the second half. And the last one, Pinyon at Tuba City, Monday night. Tuba City by 15 points.
I agree with that. I don't know too much about the Pinyon girls. I know the Pinyon boys are kind of decent, but as far as the girls, I'm not too sure. But I see Tuba winning.
Yeah,
by that margin, at least. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll just have to see how this plays out, and we'll have to see where the model takes this. But please put your thoughts in the comments if you have any about these games and who you think might win or lose. And hopefully, I can get the boys one complete at some point, and we'll have something else to talk about too.
Yeah.
As far as that. So, but anyways, do you have anything else, Mac?
No, just good luck to the teams and see travels when traveling, all the fans and parents and players. You guys make all this fun, man.
Yeah, likewise. I mean, it's been great, and hopefully everyone enjoys the content we're putting out. I know it's a little bit different than last year, but we're slowly letting this show evolve into something a little bit different, and hopefully, as we get better at doing some of these things, it might make a little bit more sense in the future. Mm-hmm. But anyways, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.